Alright, guys, welcome back. I'm going to try to do a proper recap of the movie Cub or Welp because last Cannibal World I did a nice recap, but on the Cub movie I just rambled into the camera without no second imagery. So let's be more specific. Let's go. So we have the horror movie Cub 2014, I think, or similar year. And we got what? It starts the movie. A little boy is in some kind of a scout class. He runs, joins his comrades, and they have two instructors, one with a ponytail and one without one. And what happens later? They all go on some kind of a road trip to a forest, basically to do their camping stuff. On the way there, they encounter like a couple of young vandals that are using some kind of a car, not like a full car, but some kind small freaking car thing, and they are just driving across the lawn, hurting the grass. So the instructors jump out. They go into a little of a scuffle with those teenagers, but nothing bad happens. Just a little violence, like, oh, get off the lawn? No, I won't. Just a little pushover. And I forgot to tell you, a woman joins them. A third instructor, a blonde lady that is also a scout expert, supposed to be. And they all continue the drive. They go to the forest. On the way there, we get some kind of flashbacks of some kind of a wild, feral monster kid living there with a mask. So, over there, the scouting company, the kids and instructors, make themselves at home in the forest, get tents, everything. We get a couple of moments like of our main scout kid getting bullied because he has a lot of hate towards him. And basically just another kid hurts him and instructors look weird at him and all that. Our main kid, while he is in the forest, from time to time notices some weird, like he's seeing something. And what he is seeing is the monster kid. So, he sees him, he follows him, and there comes a time where our main scout kid finds a place in the forest, a nest, I would say, on the top of the trees, where the monster kid is living. So, the monster kid had stolen a couple of Playboy magazines looking at naked women and eating canned conservative food. So, he's living the life in the wilderness. And our main kid is the only kid that could really notice him. So, they kind of started having a little bit of a bond together, becoming not friends but somewhat close. And later, what happens? One of the instructors has a dog, an aggressive dog, and what happens? The dog bits our main scout kid in the arm. So, this happens after what? After our kid notices the instructor having sex with a blonde woman, the instructor we picked up before. So he notices, and the dog comes out and bits him in the arm. And nobody feels merciless for the kid. Nobody shows compassion. Only the monster kid looking from the distance. He wanted to take revenge on the dog for biting his friend, I would say. Friend by now. We can call them friends. So, the monster kid, in the night, like whispers for our kid, get out on the tent because I've got a dog put in a bag and we're gonna do some payback. So, our kid and the monster kid pick up sticks and freaking smack the living crap out of the freaking dog while he is in the bag. You cannot really see the dog, so it is not that disturbing. But later, they try to open the bag, see if the dog is still alive. And the dog launches out freaking fights the monster kid. The monster kid, in the help of Orchid, kill the dog together, the aggressive dog, and in the distance, the instructor, the owner of the dog, arrives to see what the hell is happening. So, the monster kid, seeing this, he ran off to the woods. And guess what? Our normal kid got all the blame. So the instructor grabbed his head and smacked it at a tree. It was brutal, but the second instructor, without the ponytail on his head, he came to help and wrestled that guy on the ground. So, very tough time for our boy, because he got hurt. And basically, the guy with the ponytail, the instructor that the dog belonged to, wanted to take some freaking revenge on that boy. But the other instructor, without the ponytail, tried to talk to our scout kid, like maybe figuring out what's going on. But our scout kid just brushed it off with a hand and ran away to the forest. So, if I remember correctly, this was the part where the killings started. Not the animal killings, but the human killings. And who got killed first? If I remember, the kid ran to the monster kid's territory. And I did not mention the monster kid as a father figure, a psychopath. So, the instructor followed our kid because he ran away from the camp. And the instructor got attacked by the psychopath. They had a fight. The psychopath killed the instructor with a knife in the eye. It was painful. And after that, the freaking psychopath went on a rampage. He went to the campsite with a huge freaking truck and ran through the whole tent with the scout kids. Who, but not all of them. Some of them got killed, but some of them were alive still. And the monster kid trapped the lady instructor, the instructor with the ponytail, the aggressive guy whose dog got killed, got smashed into goo by a falling tree trap. It was the most brutal kills I have seen, and pretty hilarious. So, all these killings, who is still alive? Who? Who is still alive? A lot of people. Like, the kids tried to unite and kill the psychopath father figure of the forest. So they burned him alive in his truck. But later the psychopath emerged as still breathing, still alive, and just good. He did not get hurt that bad. He just burned alive. He now looks like a stereotypical slasher killer. Yeah. So, who is still left alive now? Let's count. The ponytail instructor, dead, smashed by tree. The without ponytail instructor, killed by a knife in the eye. Several kids, truck kill on the tent. And our main scout is alive, our main kid. And the woman instructor is alive. The monster kid is alive. So, our main kid goes to the lair, underground lair of the killer monster kid and his psychopath father. And what happens there? He sees the victims' dead bodies. The woman instructor gets dragged there, beginning to get killed. And our kid, seeing that, he kind of went into a fight with the monster kid and killed the monster kid. He killed him. But the main thing was the psychopath father got back and saw that. So, the psychopath father brought his influence to the kid that killed his monster kid, and our kid became the next villain, the next monster kid of the psychopath. So, woman is still alive. She runs out in the wilderness. They pursue her. And both together, the psychopath father and our scout kid that turned into a killer, killed the woman. And everybody just ended like that. Forrest still belongs to a burnt psychopath. His kid got killed by a normal kid, so the normal kid became the killer kid, the next son to the psychopath, and killed the woman instructor. That's how it ended. The forest is still haunted. So, my rating, I told it before, was 6 out of 10. Took 40 minutes to get the horror started, but totally worth the wait. Wonderful horror movie. So, thank you guys for watching. If you want to get scared, have patience. Bye bye.